Games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and today I'll talk about where I went yesterday. It was London Toy Fair. I saw lots of people. I could have seen more. Because after a few hours there was an empty floor. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. 10 a.m. UK time. Time for. Oh, it's 888. It's not 887. I think I forgot to update that number. Episode 888. How was London Toy Fair? Let's have a quick recap, a quick ponder, and I'll tell you as much as I feel comfortable saying about my business meetings, which actually they went well. I mean, I was showing the free games. I took the free games that I'd been working on since that I'd done since October. One bigger publisher liked one of them and took that away. The other two didn't, not that they are bad games, but not so much. And another publisher liked the same game somewhat, but liked another game even more. And I was like, oh, this is exciting. And we could see a way to grow it up. And so that was nice to see. Like, always when you work with a publisher, whether it's because of their in-house writers or their ability to source materials that you personally couldn't, it always makes the game that little bit better. And I'm really excited to see what can come of it. And I managed to progress the contracts that I was working on for a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises. Watch this space, and hopefully that will be something that gets sorted soon. Will have the it's baked into the contract that I can still print 500 copies of it this year to fulfill everything, and 200 copies. Well, that's going to be. So let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Well, like this whole show is about the recent highlights, and when I'm doing these things, it seems a bit weird to pick recent highlights. But yeah, I mean, got out of bed and did my stuff. The chat with Alan Paul was good. It's been a bit drizzly, that's what I'll say. But the rest of it, I'll show you now in terms of photographs. And talk about photographs. Photographs are so brilliant because they share memories. They record things as they are. And it's not just about capturing everything around you. It's about capturing those selected moments when you think, yeah, this is something that I want to remember. And then you have a little image of the, remember, like, that looks good. I want to keep enjoying that. So yeah, photographs, brilliant things. And as always, comment, ask questions from like follow. I do these things live because I love responding to people, and I will respond to all respectful comments or questions. So London Toy Fair is in Olympia near Hammersmith. It's kind of central West London, and it's a nice smallish it's a couple of rooms. Each of the rooms are fairly big. Like these rooms are, I would say, almost like a football pitch in size. And not only is there bits at the bottom, there's also the bits at the top where you can wander around the Galleria, and at the top you've got, stands that form a circle. At the bottom there's corridors you can wander through, see some major companies. In one room you'll see some bigger places, and in the other room it's mainly smaller places, and there's a bunch of small places all mixed together. I didn't have a video tour or anything this year, but hopefully you can see a good approximation of what it's like from these photographs. And yeah, there's all sorts of toys, all sorts of super exciting stuff coming out, and all people are excited to. I mean, for publishers, I think it's primarily about sales, about negotiating. We are going to get this contract with this shop, with this retailer, and we are going to get stuff ready. For some people, it's also about the what can you show us? Let's have some designer meetings. Let's have some meetings with people who are going to show us games. And so there's a lot of work going on. Do, 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 do. Of course, there were wonderful people that I ran into. Here's Toby from Oink Games. Oink Games having been now subsumed into Hachette UK, at least for the UK distribution. But, you know, the rest of the world is still completely independent. It's just a helpful partnership. So Tony came over from Germany, and it was lovely to see them, and had a nice wee chat about like games. Here's Charlotte, who made a game that I played, and it kind of looks like I've got three fingers in that photograph, although one of the fingers is just a red thing in the background. But I just wanted this photo to be taken so that we could compare our redness. I mean, I am a wee bit more red than Charlotte, because Charlotte is letting the side down with a white. Um, but honestly, this is the first time I saw anyone wearing any red in the show, let alone as much red as this. So yeah, well done, Charlotte, on the red. Again, parts of Hachette UK. Richard Brees, author of the Keyflower and Key Market. Well, David Brain designed Key Market, but all sorts of key games. Richard Brees is a lovely individual, came up to me and said, "Hello, madam, can I help you?" And so yeah, that was, and yeah, Richard Brees is a gentle soul, didn't want to join us at the restaurant because of hearing problems, but I always enjoy having a bit of a chat with Richard, and they know their game design is just amazing. Let me actually make myself a wee bit bigger there. There we go. And hello, Mike. It is lovely to see you, and I hope you're generally well. What are you up to today? Have you had a good day yesterday? Um, this is Cole. Cole from who's currently working for Funko and was previously working for Leisure Games and knows a lot about selling games and how to do it. And we had a nice chat on Cole's lunch break. And yeah, it's just lovely wandering around. I took this photo because Yogi is present. So if you can spot my game, where's Yogi? Can you see it? See if you can see it. No prize to whoever gets it first. And I was going to Toy Fair because of a couple of meetings. One of the meetings I was, 5 minutes late for, which isn't great, but the person said, "Oh, it's fine, don't worry." And yeah, we sorted through stuff. And then another meeting I was on time for, and yeah, they were running late, which is expected. And then I finished a wee bit late. And it was also so that I could wander around and just get to see people. And whilst I don't have much to say to VR distribution or even Flavian, to be honest, like in the middle of a convention, it's not like but it's nice to just wave from afar as I walk past. But it's also nice to just be reminded of these people, and it's quite invigorating. And I'm glad that you're generally well. And I realize that this might be too small a thing for you to actually see. So no, that's not going to make any difference. Yogi is here on the bottom, on the right side of the second shelf from the bottom. But yeah, lots of bicycles, tricycles, all sorts of stuff. Alley Cat Games used to work for them. Yeah, I guess friends of the show, they've given me some Dice Hospital and Dice theme park stuff to ponder and see if I come up with anything. And by 5 minutes to 6, bearing in mind it was meant to close at 6 o'clock, this is what it looks like, because it's not like a normal show where everyone's like, yeah, we love being here. As much as people might be enjoying their job, here most people were just like, okay, phew, well, that's it. Okay, it's basically done. Okay, let's just go off and get an early night and come back early tomorrow. It's very much a place for business people. And if and at a certain point, everyone just packs up and goes home. I did see Nikki from Cosmos Games UK and Alina, my friend illustrator, and Sean, new friend. And together we went out to drink a few Belgian beers. So this is fermented without any yeast. So it's exceptionally sour. It's kind of like a kombucha. And so it was a delightful thing. This is just a dark beer with a lot of flavour and complexity going on. We all had a delicious main course and spent 2.5 hours chatting together. And it was a lovely time, lovely conversation. I think that's a reasonable time to, yeah, stop the thing. So London Toy Fair, how was it? Like, I'm really glad I went. I mean, I showed off games, and I think I'm able to say that of the 3 games that I showed, 2 of them were things that at least one publisher said, yes, we really like that, and I will be taking a copy of that and play it and get back to you. And so that was exciting. I mean, that's a good hit rate. I need to remember that obviously once something gets accepted, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to lead to publication, but it is the first step. And making these connections is the first step. I think that, again, wandering around, giving time for these relationships to nurture, to sort of blossom, and saying, oh, being able to observe Flavian doing what they're doing, because Flav is really good at being gentle, but also business minded. Like, someone came over and said, hey, can I show you my game? And he said, no, this will be very quick. No, we don't accept stuff. We only work with these publishers. And she said, oh, okay, that is very quick. And then said, look, if you want to go to Nuremberg and just, could I just show it for 30 seconds? And he said, nope. And it was very gently done. But it makes perfect sense because there's a busy stand to run. And, when someone says 30 seconds, it's not going to be 30 seconds. But I was like, that's really good. I ended up chatting to this person and having a look at their game. And yeah, it was a very nicely produced thing. I hope that they are able to to sell them off, and because they've printed a very small number on a sort of print on demand basis, and I hope that everything works out for them okay, and yeah, maybe I might see them at a future Friday daytime playtesting. I do feel like, what could I have done stuff better? Sure, I could have arrived earlier. I could have, wandered around more. I could have, spoken to more people. I didn't get a chance to stop by Gibson's at all, which was a bit of a shame because, when I wandered past, it was already 5 minutes to, and they were all packed up. But was maybe even like 1 minute to or 2 minutes to. I'm not going to exaggerate, but it was a lovely day. I got to see some friendly faces. I got a wonderful meal. I had a bunch of, I would say, successful business events. And yeah, London Toy Fair, if you're thinking of going to this place, then I would say, yeah, if you're a designer, don't go with the expectation of, hey, I'm going to get to pitch my stuff, unless you've got a pre-booked meeting, of course. But if you go with the expectation of, hey, I'll get to see what they want, and then maybe I'll make a game for next year for them, or I'll see what they want and then get their email and then speak to the correct person down the road. For me, it's just much easier to see these people face to face rather than, yeah, on the website or whatever. Obviously, you also need to be respectful because they are there to sell stuff to other people. But as a designer, I'd recommend it as if you are thinking of starting up a shop. This is where you need to be. Everyone wants to sell stuff to you, and everyone wants to get stuff to you. And yeah, if you're a publisher, it depends whether you've got enough resources. Like, I mean, Alley Cat Games, which feels like a fairly successful company, they've still got a stand which is about a quarter of the size of one of like the learning resources stand in this photo. But I hope that gives you a little bit of the flavour of London Toy Fair. And again, do you have any questions or anything? And yeah, at this point, I wish I did a questionably quick questions section at this point, but like if you've got anything you want to ask me, not just about London Toy Fair, then please do. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you the question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. How many times a week do you do your laundry? Like, how many times a week do you do the clothes washing and hanging up and all that? I think I do it about once a week. Yeah, I think once a week is roughly what I do. And I'm just thinking of that because I have to do a whole bunch today in preparation for heading off. But yes, how often a week, how many times a week or a month, or how regularly, like, do you do your laundry? I'm curious. Over to you. What are you up to? You can share button if you want to. I have a whole bunch of stuff to do today. Firstly, do the laundry. Maybe do some tidying, maybe booking some flights, pondering some games, sorting out some conventions, maybe posting some stuff, sending addresses, definitely getting someone over for dinner to talk about the potential, them coming over to live here. And I do also need to pack and reach out to publishers for Nuremberg and sort out everything. And yeah, that is what I'm doing. And so, yeah, what are you up to? And Mike says, I spend a day doing it every week or so. Yeah, that makes sense. So is it like just one load or is it like multiple loads? Like I think that I tend to do just one load at a time every weekish. Makes it work out for me. But so yeah, I have enough pants, for example, that I could actually probably go 2.5, maybe even 3 weeks without doing any laundry if I started from completely clean clothes. So, but yeah, is there anything you want to share? Anything that you need to do? Anything that you want to do? Please share. I promise that I care. Mike says 2 or 3 loads in that day. Wow, that's quite a bit. I'm wondering, yeah, every week. Yeah, I guess I just mix my stuff a lot more. Maybe because I don't have so many colors. I mean, I basically separate my stuff into broadly. Sometimes I separate them into 3 groups. Like I've got some stuff that I think, okay, this is really filthy, or like I don't want it mixing with other stuff necessarily. I've got some stuff which has white, which includes basically white stripes. It might be red and white stripes. You don't want to mix your plain reds with your red and white stripes because the red and white stripes are normally color fast, but the red might be less so. And then I will just have everything else, which is normally red. And yeah, that's basically almost always just red into one thing. But yeah, I guess you maybe separate your stuff out. Anyway, recap and wrap up before we finish up. So London Toy Fair was lovely to wander around. It was a successful day for me, and I need to get a whole bunch of stuff done for Nuremberg. I am going to be making my untitled game, hopefully in time to playtest it tomorrow to check the balance. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm going to. I enjoyed London Toy Fair. I didn't feel like I got as much as I could have gotten out of it. That was partially because I only arrived at 1:40, missed half the day. Did I miss half the day? 4 hours. I was there for 4 hours. I missed 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I missed half the day. So I probably won't be here next year, and it wasn't worth me going today. But if you want to check me out, I am Stuff by Bez in all of the places, stuffbybez.com/streams. When am I off? Do you mean when am I off to Nuremberg? I'm off to Nuremberg on Saturday. You can tell from my calendar. Or if you meant when am I off to Thailand, I'm off to Thailand at the end of this year. And speaking of which, Mike, even though we've never met in person, um, you're totally welcome to my um, leaving party, and thank you very much. Enjoy the trips. I do appreciate that. So share, spread the word. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And also anyone, if someone who I saw at London Toy Fair happens to be watching, thank you for being a cool person. Everyone that I met seems generally nice. And yeah, thank you also, Mark, for inviting me to a lovely evening of beer tasting and everything. And yeah, thank you to the publishers who give me the time. And yeah, thank you to, I'll look forward to working with some more publishers relatively soon. For now, there's only one thing left to say, and that is, of course, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go to do bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.